So in the season finale of Season 3, we sit 7th in the Premier League table after 32 games played, 10 points behind Chelsea in 4th. And with only 6 Premier League games left to play, our dream of qualifying for the Champions League via the Premier League may well be dead. But in better news, after thumping Napoli 4-0 in the quarter-finals of the Europa League, we've now got Celta Vigo in the semi-finals and our dream of a European trophy is alive. We also secured our biggest transfer ever by bringing Keylor Navas to the club on a pre-contract agreement. But it's back to the Premier League we go and back to Ellen Road we go for a massive game against a third-place Liverpool. And even the press are having doubts that we can now make the Champions League, but after being poor so far in the league, I'm pretty sure we've got a point to prove. And heading into the game against Liverpool, there's only going to be one change. That's Gelhardt coming in for Adeyemi up front. Shaparenko finds himself out on the right-hand side. Dan James trying to play it back into him. It's a wonderful ball back into him. Can we find Gelhardt in the box? No, we can't. 13 minutes in, we've got another opportunity for a wonderful counter-attack here. Varela's going to try and find a ball all the way over the top. That is horrendous. Lucanets is going to have to stand firm here. It's Mo Salah, one-on-one. He plays it in field to Darwin Nunez. Gets it back. Kalulu trying to chase him down. It's a fantastic challenge. Free kick for Liverpool. 51 minutes played. And it's going to be Gravenberch who's going to take it. Looks like he's going to throw one in the box. He doesn't. He surprises me. And he goes short. Picks it up once again. Gives it out to Mo Salah. Wonderful ball into Nunez. And there's nothing we could do about that. It's a brilliant finish. 1-0 Liverpool. Liverpool with the corner. Mo Salah to take. Throws it in just outside the 6-yard area. Kalulu heads it away. It's to Kovacic, who tried to strike it from distance. Hit against my defender. He still got it though. Alexander-Arnold. And it's 79 minutes into this game. Liverpool still lead 1-0. And now they have a great opportunity on this left-hand side. Gravenberch with a wonderful ball. Where on earth are my defence? Diaz, great save. And it's over here at Ellen Road. It's another 1-0 loss, this time against Liverpool. And our league form has completely dropped off a cliff. And with our league form completely in the toilet, I am well and truly putting all of our eggs in the Europa League basket. 4 changes to the team that lost against Liverpool. Adeyemi's back in, Brennan Johnson in for Dan James, Aronson in for Jacob Ramsey, and Windal in for Lucanets. Nice ball into the path of Paciencia. He plays straight into the path of Aspas. Stroop picks it up. Servi almost tackled him. Kalulu, wonderful composure to get himself out of trouble there. And he lays it off to Shaparenko. And he can find Brennan Johnson on this right-hand side. Brennan Johnson's got space to run into. He's going to put it onto his left. Can't get the strike away. Great defending. Aronson. Now Sinistera has got grass to run into on this left-hand side. Trying to drive into the box here. And it's almost into the box. But Nunez is there for Celta Vigo. He's got loads of space on the right-hand side to drive into, but instead he decides to go to Aspas. Aspas trying to find an angle to pass, and in the end he finds that angle to Paciencia. Good save. Away from the defender. I'm just going to lay this back into the path of Aronson. Aronson's going to go out wide to the left-hand side to Windal. He's going to whip one in, and it's almost to the head of Sinistera. Sinistera has it, and he puts it into the back of the net. Sinistera gives us the lead here. Paciencia now for Celta Vigo. Oh, nice challenge from Stroot. Windal now can get there first. Aronson just trying to wait for a ball, and I was trying to go over to Sinistera, but instead it goes through to Adeyemi, who's shown some wonderful feet, and he strikes with his left. My goodness, Adeyemi with a phenomenal piece of skill, and he puts us 2-0 up. Paciencia has it now. Celta Vigo trying to counter-attack here. Paciencia with a wonderful ball through to Sunset, and it's a great save. Brennan Johnson does wonderful stuff to get around from the defender. Lays into Adeyemi, gets it back from him, drives into the penalty area. I'm going to try and look for a ball across, and we can't find anyone. Windal driving forward on this left-hand side, checks back in. Looks for the ball to Adeyemi. He's twisting and turning. He's had a brilliant game so far. Going to try and lay this out wide to Shaparenko. Brennan Johnson just stays onside. Going to try and whip this in first time. We can't get there. Can we get the second ball? No, we can't. Kalulu into Shaparenko. Shaparenko to Pedro Porro. He goes back in field to Varela. Gives it back to Shaparenko. This is wonderful build-up play from us. We find Sinistera out on the left-hand side. On his right foot. Off the post. Pedro Porro. Nice turn away from the defender. Lays it off to Shaparenko. Shaparenko's going to try and find a ball into Sinistera. Great defending. And that is the end of the game. We get the 2-0 win here, and we now have 1 foot in the final. And with the second leg against Celta Vigo straight after this game against Leicester, I have gone full rotation. Meslier, the only man to keep his place. And it's a masterstroke 3-2 win against Leicester. Gelhardt, Brennan Johnson and Popescu all getting on the score sheet. It's a brilliant, brilliant 3 points. We have a 2-0 cushion heading into this second leg. Come on, boys, let's get it done. And as you can see, I'm sticking with the starting 11 that won the first leg, and we will never have a better opportunity to try and win us some silverware in this career mode. Early doors, they've got their first opportunity of the game. It's Paulinho on the left-hand side. We've got to be careful here. He drives into the box. Stroot gets in the way. De La Torre gets it back, lays it off into the path of Sunset, and already Celta Vigo, inside 10 minutes, have got a goal back. Pedro Porro wins that very well. Varela now into Aronson. Aronson's going to try and release Sinisterra on the left-hand side. He does. Sinisterra puts it across. No one's there. Into Varela now. Varela almost loses it, but still has it just about. Sinisterra now on the edge of the Celta Vigo box. I'm just trying to find angles. Aronson into Shaparenko. Shaparenko to get it on his right. Strike straight against the defender. Turns away from Windal. Celta Vigo on the attack here. This is so dangerous. They get away from Kalulu. It's almost... Ball, Pedro Porro loses that in a really dangerous position. Kalulu tries to hold up Paulinho, and he doesn't really do a great job. We don't get the ball clear. Eventually we do. He gives it to Varela. Varela to Shaparenko. Shaparenko looks for Dan James. Is he offside? He's not. He's onside. Tried to play it in. No one was there. Into Shaparenko. Shaparenko's got Dan James on the right-hand side. Dan James going to look in field to Adeyemi. Adeyemi almost. They have it now in our penalty area. This is so dangerous here. Servi has it. Lays it back off. And now they're driving back into our penalty area. No one putting a decent challenge in. And we get all mixed up. And it's into the back of the net. What on earth was Meslier doing? It's absolutely a shambles defensively. And Celta Vigo have got the 2 goals back. Dan James into Adeyemi once again. Adeyemi trying to switch it onto his left. He does really well. And almost into Aronson. Aronson going to go to the left-hand side into Windal. We've got a man over, but he gives it to Adeyemi. Adeyemi lays it off to Shaparenko, who strikes straight at the goalkeeper. Celta Vigo to counter-attack. They're going to catch us cold here. Servi on the right-hand side, driving into space. What is Sinisterra doing? Allows him to get the ball in. They get it to Sunset. Oh, this is an absolute shambles. It's 3-0 to Celta Vigo, and we have completely and utterly fallen apart. To Kalulu. Aronson, Jacob Ramsey tries to throw it into Adeyemi, can't quite get there. The goalkeeper will boot this away, and Celta Vigo will go through to the final of the Europa League. We have absolutely thrown this one away. I am absolutely devastated. And I don't even know how I'm going to face the press or how I'm going to face the fans after that one. And they're asking me how disappointed I am. It is difficult to take. And I absolutely agree with them. Nothing seemed to go right. The problem was we just completely bottled it. And with us now out at the semi-final stage, that means it is Celta Vigo and Milan that will contest the Europa League final. And so now it is all about turning our attention back to the Premier League and trying to at least secure a Europa League spot. As you can see from the Premier League table, we sit 9 points behind Spurs in 5th, but we do have a massive game in hand against Crystal Palace. And our Europa League disappointment is compounded. It's a 3-1 loss against Crystal Palace, and that has all but killed off our European dreams this season. And with our next game up against the top of the table Arsenal, things just do not get any easier. And as it's a midweek game with some fatigue creeping in, I have made several changes to my starting 11. The likes of Popescu, Gelhardt and Dan James coming in, as well as the likes of Koch and Godfrey as well at the back. And with the summer transfer window now lurking in the background, this is the opportunity for my fringe players to make a name for themselves. 12 minutes in, we've got our first counter-attack of the game, and it's Varela who's going to pick this one up. I'm going to try and dink a ball all the way over to Dan James on the right-hand side. It is a good ball. He manages to get there, some quick feet from him. He just about manages to keep hold of the ball after some poor first touch. It's Shaparenko here to Jacob Ramsey, looking for angles. I think the momentum of this attack has well and truly gone, and it has. 47 minutes in, Arsenal now have their own counter-attack to go for. Saka, Godfrey with a great challenge. And less than 10 minutes later, Arsenal have another counter-attack. This time it's Fabio Vieira who picks it up in his own half. Koch trying to chase him down. Can he make the challenge? He cannot. He's now driving down this right-hand side. It's a great challenge in the end, though. Jacob Ramsey lays that off to Shaparenko. Shaparenko into Fagioli. He gives it to Varela. Varela to Ramsey. Ramsey to try and get it onto his right foot to strike straight at the defender. Kostic on the left-hand side for Arsenal. It looks like it's going to be the last chance of the game. It's a wonderful opportunity and it's a brilliant save. And that is the end of the game. It finishes here at the Emirates 0-0. We take a point, but I don't think that's going to be enough to try and claw our way back up to 5th. And that result means European qualification has proved too much. We sit 11 points behind with 2 games remaining, and unfortunately the European dream is dead. And with just 2 games remaining and nothing to play for, I'm going to sim the remainder of this season. And starting with Aston Villa, it finishes 1-1 at Ellen Road. Adeyemi getting on the score sheet. And we finish the season off with a 1-1 draw away at Nottingham Forest. Luca Netz, of all people, gets on the score sheet to round off what has been a very difficult season. And with those back-to-back draws, we end up finishing 8th in the Premier League, 3 points behind West Ham, and in the end we were an absolute mile away from Chelsea in the Champions League. Liverpool come home to pip Arsenal to the Premier League title by 1 point, City 3rd, Chelsea 4th, United in 5th. And at the bottom of the table, Villa, Brentford and Burnley are all the teams that end up getting relegated. West Ham, of all people, end up winning the FA Cup. The Carabao Cup is won by Arsenal. AC Milan take the victory in the Europa League. They beat Celta Vigo, our arch rivals, 2-1 in the final. And the Champions League is won on penalties, Atletico Madrid beating Bayern Munich to take home Europe's most coveted trophy. But that is that for the end of this season. If you have enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.